Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we welcome you to our Division B playoff mode between Voltage and From the Ashes. Voltage is your number 4 seed, and From the Ashes is your number 5 seed. They're looking to play the winner, and the winner plays Citizens in the semifinals. And of course, winning the division is huge for this. And we welcome you once again to this presentation of the Overtime Champions community here on Twitch. My name is Clutchy, and I will be your solo caster for today between, once again, From the Ashes and Voltage, two very good teams coming here into the playoffs. And once again, winner plays Citizens in the semifinals. We're going to play our first map here, Ilios, which is going to be a very interesting map. So let's go ahead and start the game because these two teams are ready to play. So Ilios, a very popular map to play. As you can see, in the first two bans, it was Nepal and Oasis that got banned first round. So this is going to be interesting to see when we play Ilios. And first off is my favorite part of Ilios, the well, because now you have so many opportunities to change up your strategies. You can play so many environmental players, or heroes rather, such as Orisa or Pharah, or even a popular one, the Roadhog with the hook, because you can drag anybody right down in that well. So it's going to be very interesting to see what these teams play coming up in the Assemble a Heroes phase. But let's take a look at the lineups real quick to start us off here. And of course, I believe From the Ashes does have subs. Not too sure if Voltage does on their lineup, but let's go ahead and take a look at the lineups here as they assemble the heroes. For From the Ashes, it's going to be Lin, Red Panda, No Mercy Main, Alishin, Golden Sun, and Pixel 05. In the meantime, on Voltage's side, you're going to have President, Killua, Craniat, Predator, Gohan, and Kirua Zoruri. So we're going to have ourselves a great game here. 10 seconds remains here on the clock for the prepare to attack phase, and we'll see which team comes out here with the victory here on the well. Let's get things started. So here we go. You're going to see the team comps coming up, both sides with pretty much the same ideals going on with the Orisa comp, but other than that, everything pretty much coming out. Killua's going to play on this Genji, try and get a few picks in the background, but the Pharmacy combo from No Mercy Main and Lin coming out, trying to do some damage on top. You can see the Pharahs coming out on both sides, with Predator and Craniat, so both really playing this Pharmacy combo right now, and it's up to everybody else on the ground at this point. And everybody knows you win the air game, you can win the ground game afterwards, so we'll see how that produces afterwards. Now the objective is unlocked, and already we're going to see an Orisa get a kill there in the well using Pulse and bring down Allish. And so right now it's looking good for the team from Voltage right now. Backing up is From the Ashes, and so Voltage is going to have themselves the first strike here on the point. Right now it's still going to be interesting to see what From the Ashes does to try and get this point back, because it's still only on 8% as Craniac gets the attack, gets the res on Predator. So right now it's still all Voltage clearing out this point. Oh, and Predator takes the strike down on No Mercy Main, so that's huge because that takes out a Pharah unless there's a res coming up from Lin, which there is. So now the entire team is back and ready to play. A lot of damage being done here by No Mercy Main, already having a Rocket Barrage coming up here. And Red Panda's going to strike down Predator, so a good start for From the Ashes so far. As Pixel takes down the one person they needed to. Now the Rocket Barrage from No Mercy Main gets one. And not going to get any more. Red Panda takes down Kirua Zoruri, so that should be enough as everybody else from the team on From the Ashes goes down. So a very good take from Voltage, or very good take from the Ashes there. Running the clock now at 5%, 43-8 right now. So Voltage got to find a way to flip it because From the Ashes looking good on their first flip so far. Predator's really good at hitting direct shots, so this is going to be a question of whether or not No Mercy Main can take him down. The Sound Barrier comes down as the Dragon Strike comes out. Now the Dragon Blade on the other side from Killua comes out. Allishin will take down Killua, but not before he takes down Red Panda, so DPS for DPS right there. Now it's up to the teams to try and figure that out. The Hulk's going to come in. Oh, Allishin almost falls out. It's still in favor of From the Ashes right now. They're holding on to it as long as possible. And now the Rocket Barrage from Predator comes in. He's going to get Allishin and Pixel. That's 2 huge kills on the tanks. And that's going to allow the flip. So Voltage just 1% away from, From the Ashes just 1% from tying that up. But Voltage is going to take it over 43-42 with the clock running down. Now for From the Ashes, it's going to be up to From the Ashes to try and take back this point, because it looks like it's going to be a back and forth game, and if this happens right now, it's going to be advantage From the Ashes, or advantage Voltage and Saber the first ones to take the point, so we'll see what happens here in the background. And that's going to be the teams coming in, once again, hiding behind that Orisa shield, a very strong Orisa shield from Hirozurudi, blocking up a lot of damage so far. You can see that shield just cracking and cracking right now, trying to get as much damage as they can. And again, Killua goes down in the hands, and Red Panda and Killua going at it right now because they're just trading picks on each other, which is not good for either side because you're losing a DPS, but the really main one is that is the Pharah right now. Here comes the power booster coming up from Pixel 05, gonna help out his team a little bit. Predator's almost down in the well. Is he gonna fall is the question. And Predator goes down in the hands of All-Mission, so right now Transcendence also being popped up by by Golden Sun. So right now it's looking good from the Ashes right now as we head into the overtime, but 6 people on the point means that is a flip from the Ashes, so saving themselves. But no time, no mistakes right now because they are in a desperate situation. 99 to 50, halfway home to the 100%, but Voltage one more take and it's pretty much over. So 99, as the clock keeps winding, 99 to 60 right now. Still looking for some picks here. It'll come down to a big play on either side right now. And here comes the team for Voltage right now. Dragon Strike comes out, as well as the Rocket Barrage from No Mercy main. Killua is going to bring up the Dragon Blade, get Red Panda in the background, and also gets All-Mission, which means, and also Predator with the Rocket Barrage. So coming in, 4 ultimate kills all together from Voltage, and that's the team kill, which means unless Red Panda can get there in time, I don't think he's going to get there because Predator's going to strike him down, and that means Voltage has point number 1 here on the well. So not too many environmental kills, but nonetheless a good win for Voltage here in round 1. So they're looking good to win Ilios so far. From the Ashes took that point twice, but Voltage took it over one more time that they needed to, and that allows the win. And using those 2 ults in the end as well, using those 2 ults with the Rocket Barrage coming from No Mercy main as well as the... coming out from Predator as well as Killua with that Dragon Blade in the background. 4 kills altogether. So that is what brought Voltage pretty much the victory because you could hear Athena say team kill. So right now it's still in the hands of Voltage to win this one more round here on the Ruins. And they've got the game. So here we go with the second round here. We're going to see the sniper battle coming out now. Red Panda and Predator. So Red Panda was on that Hanzo before. Now going to play the Widowmaker as well as Predator now. Not opting to play the Pharah, now playing the Widowmaker. So it's going to be a Widow versus Widow battle coming up here with 5 seconds before the point unlocks. So now the Moira also coming out from President, and Predator's going to get the first pick on No Mercy main. So that's going to take care of a huge DPS Genji right there. And that may allow Voltage to come in. The only one on the point is All-Mission. Shield drops and he's almost dead, and he's pretty... Oh, no, gets saved by a double hero. But right now it's still Voltage with the very dominating performance. And Kilo's going to get himself a double kill on both Lin and Craniac. So right now it's still... I'm sorry, Kilo is going to get a double kill on Lin, and I believe that was Pixel. But anyway, so very good starting place for Voltage. This is the same thing that happened to them last time. Voltage pretty much bringing up the front of the gate, or right out of the gate, getting the first strike. So right now it looks like From the Ashes going to have to battle back for this point again. Only problem is they can't allow another takeover here. So here comes the team from the Ashes. So far so good. 2 kills already from the Ashes. So 6-on-4 situation. And now the Earth Shatter comes out. Both sides are going to use it. And both sides are going to get knocked down. And Red Panda coming out with those Widowmaker plays, helping out the team. That's going to get 2 big picks on Kiro and Killua. So that means From the Ashes, once again, 43% of the first map back on the well, and now 45% coming in this map. From the Ashes knows how to take over the point. It's the question of whether or not they can get this all the way to 100, because they were so close to home, 175 back the final on the well right now. So it's going to be interesting to see where these teams are coming into the next push here for Voltage. And now the Graviton Surge coming in with 5 people there. Here comes the Dragon Blade from No Mercy main. That's 1, that's 2. Takes away Golden Sun also there to kill off the rest of the team. Predator and President going to have to back up here, allow the team to reset. But what a Graviton Surge there by All-Mission. Getting pretty much 4 people in that process. So going to reset on the ults there. only 2 ults coming up, really. Pixel's going to have that the Earth Shatter coming out, as well as the Transcendence for Golden Sun, but you take a look at Voltage's side, they may have the advantage here, because Killua coming up with that Dragon Blade, as well as Gohan with the Graviton Surge coming up as well. Brainiac also has that Transcendence to use as well, but how about this? Pixel 505 going off here, getting a few kills, but Kirua says, whatever you can do, I can do better. Takes down Pixel in the process, and right now, Voltage has himself another push. No, and they pretty much lost it. So from the Ashes, oh, it's going to be in the background. No Mercy Main's going to try here and take out a few of the competition here. Red Panda's going to get taken out by Killua. Right now, the only one on point is No Mercy Main losing health, but here comes the Mercy from Lin helping him out, and now the rest of the team from the Ashes coming back and taking down the rest of the team. What a stagger, and that's going to help from the Ashes pretty much take over the point.
I am ready.
Right now it's looking good for From the Ashes right now, 89%. One last team push here from Voltage. If they can't get this, it's pretty much over. But Killua in the background takes out Red Panda, which is going to be huge, so no background damage for them. And now the Dragon Blade comes out from both sides. No Mercy Main with that Dragon Blade, as well as Killua trying to survive as long as possible here, trying to get as many kills as he can. But it looks like Killua might go down. No kills or anything for him. And the overtime process is going to happen. Is he going to go down? No. Predator still on the floor. He's going to clear. So Killua doing a really impressive job staying alive here. No Mercy Main is going to take out Killua though, and that is the objective secured from the Ashes. So right now, a 1-1 game. So this is going to be Game 3 to decide the first game. So you can already tell this is foreshadowing a very good series from both of these teams. Very evenly matched in skill. And now it comes. So we're going to see next here for the next map. It's going to be the Lighthouse, ending our series here on Helios. 1-1 the score, both being impressive on both sides. And now it's going to come down to this. We're going to see the change it up a little bit. Red Panda switching on over from that Widowmaker we saw earlier. Now plays number 3, a little bit still of a sniper. And now Predator, that's Barra coming in big back in the first round, is now going to be played here in the third round. So we're going to see if both sides are coming out here with maybe their main. We'll see if that helps. Both sides also keeping that Reinhardt and Graviton Surge, or Earth Shatter Graviton Surge combo coming from All Legend and Pixel 05 on From the Ashes team, as well as Voltage with that Kirua and Gohan on both their respective heroes as well. But it's going to be Voltage that takes over the first point. The only one there, the Lucio from President, doing a little bit of a dance on that point, but nonetheless, his word is entitled to do it because nobody from the Ashes is there. And his team really doesn't need any healing besides because Brainiac is right there. So really just a good push by Voltage to start off here. Now From the Ashes once again has to battle back from the point, but we've seen this before. Back on the well, they had it at 43% before they took it over, and back on the Ruins where they had to win Game 2 took it over with 45%. So From the Ashes really living up to their name, From the Ashes, after losing their first strike. Voltage is the one that strikes first with their charge. But now From the Ashes is going to try and take it back as well. Having a little bit of trouble, though, because they're keeping him in that corner. Now the Dragon Blade comes out from No Mercy Main. And it's going to be Kirua that ends his reign as well as taking out All Legend. So right now, still a good push. And Voltage survives for the first time in the series. Survives the second push coming up from the Ashes. So From the Ashes is going to have to try one more time with the Lighthouse. A very difficult point to take because it's such an enclosed space and a very far off space as well. Not exactly the center, but the center to the left or to the right, depending on where you're looking. So No Mercy Main's going to win the Pharaoh battle. That's going to be huge because now they can focus on the ground game. Here comes the Earth Shatter from, that's going to be from Pixel 05. Winning that so far, getting Kirua and President, so 2 good kills so far. And now the only one left here are the Mercy and the Zarya coming out. And now Red Panda's going to take on Brainiac with that Widowmaker that we saw back on game number 2. And the entire team is basically taken out. So From the Ashes rising up. And I think Golden Sun used the Transcendence a little too late there. Heals up his team though for the next fight, but not going to have a Transcendence coming up. Take a look at the ult economy. You're going to have 4 ults coming up from Voltage and only 1 coming up from the Ashes, unless Red Panda is going to use that infrared sight when that comes up. It's going to be a huge push here for Voltage. The question is, can From the Ashes survive? Sound barrier comes up from President to start us off, so that's going to be a first push here for Voltage. Golden Sun actually takes actually the one. Now the Graviton Surge comes in, and the Earth Shatter. That's going to be huge for Kiryu Sarudi. Santa Maria, what a play! Kiryu Sarudi with a triple kill with that Fire Strike. That's going to help out the team entirely there before he goes down with the Earth Shatter rather from the other one. And now the Earth Shatter comes out from Kiryu Sarudi as well. Going to help out this team. Does some damage, but not getting really anybody. And now Voltage is going to have themselves a point here. 3 people on 80-45, which means the final fight coming in for From the Ashes needs to win this fight. Otherwise, the series is over. Or not, or the series on Elios is over, rather. Excuse my words there. But 95 right now. Somebody's got to get on this point. Nobody really there. Somebody's got to get on this point. Is anybody going to get there? Predator's going to take down Golden Sun, but pretty much ignoring the point. Nobody gets there, and it's going to be Voltage that wins game number 1 here on Elios. They're 2 wins away from moving on to the semifinals against Citizens. A great game by both teams. So you can see No Mercy Main with the play of the game here. And this is going to be back on the Ruins, and a very impressive Dragon Blade nonetheless with that Graviton. Actually, not even a Graviton Surge coming in, just in the background, and really playing that Genji very well From the Ashes. But Voltage finds the answer for that, and that's going to be the game number 1 for Voltage. Once again, 2 wins away from moving on to the semifinals and to play the number 1 seed Citizens. So this is going to be very interesting to see what From the Ashes is going to do to try and change up the strategy a little bit as we move on to our next map, which I believe is an escort map. So this is going to be a ban for Voltage and the pick from the Ashes. So good start so far. Once again, good start so far from Voltage, and I'm going to get something real quick. And let's see if our producer slash now analyst Maui here from Team Havoc is Havoc's coach. So what did you see there, my friend?
Okay. Oh, hold up. That was way too loud. Give me. Okay.
We'll give him a second too.
I'm here now. Okay, I'm fine. Okay. So I feel like for Voltage, their Pharah play was a lot superior to or at least against From the Ashes, and you could especially note on Lighthouse. First fight they lose simply because they aren't running the Pharah, they're running the McCree. They're running the McCree against, I think it was Pharah Tracer, so the McCree's just way too easy to dive against those DPS. So they lose the first fight because they're able to just get those picks in really easily. And also, From the Ashes, I'd say their Widow play is a lot better compared to Voltage, just simply because you could see just on Ruins, that their Widow was a lot more comfortable to trying to get those picks and trying to get those kills, and actually clutching out one of the fights and allowing his team to come back and win the fight and eventually the map from that fight. And I also want to note from Lighthouse the fat finger on the Zen Trance when Voltage was at 80%. That eventually cost them the game because they're at 80%. All they have to do is cap the point and maybe win one fight, stop some people who have to stagger to get on point to win the map. And eventually they did because they got a Rhine Shatter, and then it just snowballed from there.
So coming up now, our next map here is Watchpoint Gibraltar. So what do you think? What do you want to see these two teams do to try and improve their gameplay? Because that was very close in a 2-1 match.
It looks like here From the Ashes picking Watchpoint Gibraltar, they want to try to play around their strengths on the Widowmaker, and honestly I can respect that because playing around your strengths as a team, especially against a team who's very good on Pharah, is probably the best thing you can do in this situation because you have noticed, or they've probably realized that Voltage has the superior Pharah, so they're like, okay, our Widow is better, so we want to play a map where our Widow can really shine. So I'm honestly willing to bet that they're going to run a Deathball double sniper here for Watchpoint Gibraltar on defense and attack.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you after the next game then. So, thank you very much, Maui. Again, once again, Team Havoc's coach, Maui, is our producer as well as our analyst for today. So, let's move on to our second game here on Watch Point Gibraltar, the band from the Ashes. Very popular pick, I would say. Band from Voltage was Dorado, and I think Dorado was a very popular pick. But I guess the next popular pick for an escort map would be Watch Point Gibraltar. So the island, a very, very nice map. But I think the one thing that all teams really want to pay attention to is that third point, if it gets down there, because that's a very that's a very average home stretch coming towards that last turn and to get to that final point. But then the very important one as well is that first point, because you're going to have it's very different landscape than most escort maps do, and that's that dip right in that right around the second turn, or rather the first turn. Excuse me. Right around that first turn is that little dip that goes down, then goes right back up. So this is going to be interesting to see how these teams take advantage of that hill, or if they will take advantage of that hill. But mainly, you see a lot of teams stay upstairs in that second room, and that's going to be huge for them as well. And that's where a lot of teams start off their defense. And then a lot of teams you see start upstairs as well. So we'll see a lot of teams attacking rather start off on the top. So this is going to be interesting to see what these teams do. So let's take a look at the rosters here. For From the Ashes, Lin is going to stick on that Mercy. McCrunk now trying to subs in for Red Panda, and this is going to be the Widowmaker that comes out. No Mercy main. We saw what that play the game earlier. The Genji comes on by. Alisha moves over from the Zarya, moves on over to the Diva, and pretty much everything else is set. I'd rather Pixel05 is on the Winston. Now that we have the attack, Voltage on the other side. President moves on over from the Moira last game to the Lucio. Killua on that Genji, and now Brainiac on the Mercy. Predator's going to stay on the Widowmaker, trying to win a Widow battle there, as well as Gohan and Kirua on the Diva, as well as Winston battle. But so far, so good From the Ashes. They have themselves a victory. 4 kills. The only ones left there are Killua and Predator. Predator might go down as well, as yes, and does go down to hands of Pixel05. So far, so good. A first good defense From the Ashes, not even 30 seconds in. And already the team from Voltage got to find a way to get around this great defense from the Ashes so far. But you're going to see on the other side already from the Ashes, 75%, 3/4 of the way to an ult here for No Mercy Man, and that Dragon Blade, huge from last game. And now here comes the first turn, and now going to go inside the dip, so we'll see where these teams stand. Predator's going to land up with McCrunk to start off, or land a shot on McCrunk to start us off here, and now Voltage looking like the teams that they need to. Now No Mercy main in the background with that Dragon Blade, takes down Killua, so no chance there. President is going to be the one that ends his reign, though. Bring out there to res Killua, so right now still a good push from Voltage. From the Ashes might have to find an answer here. 2:45 on the clock, plenty of time left. Alishin just gets in the mech in time due to the help from Lin. Now it's going to be a defense of gold here in the final turn. Now you can see point A right there. Self-destruct comes out. And it's going to get President in the process. So right now, 3 kills and a D-Mech from the team from the Ashes. So far, so good. Killua upstairs with Golden Sun. And now using the Dragon. Let's see how many he can get. But McCrunk is right there. Ooh, wow. Very close shot. But McCrunk ends up headshotting Killua and ends his reign right there. So Voltage is the one to get stopped once again from the Ashes. Has another good defense, but very close to staying right, or very close to taking point A, but still half of the time done, and Voltage has to find an answer. 3 ults coming up From the Ashes. That's going to be a Transcendence, a Valkyrie, and the Valkyrie of which being used by Lin right now. Pixel05 also has the Primal Rage coming into play, both sides. And Gohan rather now has the Self-Destruct as well as Hero with that Primal Rage as well, so we might see a Primal Rage battle here. Now the Self-Destruct comes down to the bottom floor. The bubble from Kirua the bubble from Pixel05 is there. Right now, just a push and shove battle. Alishin gets D-Maxed. And right now, again, Voltage looks like they are winning, but here comes Dragon Blade. The Sound Barrier gets dropped just in time. So not much damage coming to No Mercy main. Going to get Predator in the process. And now the Transcendence comes out from Golden Sun to save save his team some heals. Here, so another, again, push and shove here, trying to waste as much time off the clock as possible. Even if Voltage were to take this point, they're not going to get much time after this. Now the Dragon Blade comes out from Killua, gets Golden in the background, so that's a huge kill, as well as Pixel05. Now Self-Destruct right on the point. It's not going to get anybody. Gets Gohan in the process, so Alishin the only one on the point. Lin comes in with the heals, so very much a stalling. Oh, Alishin Olishin pretty much glitches out for a little while, holding the point. A very impressive hold, and by my count so far, that's a 2 minutes off the board. Or rather, a minute and a half off the board from them, but no matter. It's going to be Voltage with the first point. But 3 minutes left to go. That is a huge defensive hold by From the Ashes. If you're From the Ashes right now, even if you give up the first point, you're looking good. You got to feel good about that hold right now. Once again, another try at the second point here for Voltage, looking to see if they can place anybody here. Place anybody in the correct position right now. You can see No Mercy main in that background, trying to get a kill on President. Not going to have it, and Gohan's just, I'm sorry, and that's going to be No Mercy main just retreating there. Gohan has that self-destruct. Hero as well also has the primal range. Predator with the pulse bomb, so we're going to see. And now the self-destruct comes out for Gohan. Is that going to get anybody? It's a question. That's a huge kill on No Mercy main, so that's going to be a good push for Voltage so far. So right now, just getting pushed back all the way. Pixel 05 all by himself with double team from both Gohan and Kirua. So right now, it's still in the favor of Voltage. A very easy push for them. Didn't even just about a minute off the clock. Oh no, not yet. Dragon Blade comes out here. No Mercy main going to try and stall as much as he can. Missing a few swings. Gets the dash, and President just dodging everything right now. The Trunk finally gets the kill on President that they needed. The only one left is the Mercy. Now the self-destruct comes in. Where's that going to come from? That's going to come from up top from Olishin, but that's not going to get anybody. And once again, Voltage winning the fight. And only 2 or 3 people on there. Hero's going to use that jump. Hero's going to use the primal range rather, and gets himself a triple kill. So that's going to be huge. And that is the point. So we go into the final and third and final point rather, with 3 minutes on the clock. So once again, 3 minutes to go for Voltage to push us all the way. But now we come into the very important third point. And this decides whether there's a potential of a draw or a win here, and that's going to be if they can get it all the way to the third point, because if From the Ashes, if they get it to the third point, From the Ashes can still tie this up and take it to another try on both sides. It's going to be interesting to see how far Voltage can get it. Gets it around the first turn already. And now lines up for another try here. Self-destruct comes right in the background. Gets Golden Sun. Golden Sun just in the range there. Link's going to try and wrestle, which is successful. And now the Dragon Blade comes out from Killua. But now the Transcendence also comes out from Golden Sun. Not in the background, though. There's some damage relieved from the Transcendence. Now No Mercy main switching on over from the Genji. Now plays on the Brigitte, so a triple support, 2 tanks, and 1 DPS coming in, and Pixel 05. D-Max as well as kills Gohan, so that's going to be huge as well. Predator's going to fall off the map as well as Brainiac actually playing the Battle Mercy, gets the kill on McCrunk, so pretty impressive for him already, but the healers really on both sides winning the fight for either side now. Something that the team entirely you saw back on Ewio, Lin with 40% of the team's healing or team damage taken with that Mercy. Very big, and now the Graviton Surge comes in. That's 3 people in there. Olishin gets the kill on President alone with the Graviton Surge, and it's going to be a win here for From the Ashes, and pretty much the entire team goes down. The only 2 left, Craniac and Predator, but the question is, does Craniac want to risk a res? The question is no, because I don't see Craniac anywhere near this point. So right now, a good defensive hold, but the question is, can they hold it for the next minute and 10 seconds coming in here? This may very well be the final push for Voltage, unless Voltage can very quickly, or unless From the Ashes ends it quickly here, or Voltage can take this all the way through, but still a few meters out as the payload backs up some more. Now you're going to see a Brigitte battle between Craniac as well as No Mercy main. And that's going to be interesting as the Valkyrie comes out here. Now it's going to be a battle. Here comes the turn. First turn is good, not around the second turn yet. But Crunk moves on over from the McCree to Hanzo. That's going to get a kill for team from the Ashes with 30 seconds left to go on the clock. And Pixel 05, how about this Reinhardt place coming out from him? Has the Earth Shatter, not even going to need it here with 25 seconds left to go. It's going to save that ult, so good discipline by him. That's going to hold on to it, and now you're also going to have a rally coming up from No Mercy main as well. Back on the other side of Voltage, you're going to have Kirua on this with the Primal Rage. Gohan may have a self-destruct. Kirua also with a Dragon Strike as well, so it all comes down to this final try here for Voltage as we head into overtime. Dragon Strike going to come in for Killua. Is that going to get anybody? Actually misses a lot of people in the process as the team from the Ashes is going to back up just a little bit. right now Pixel winning this battle here. Here comes the self-destruct, comes in with a good shield from Pixel. Pretty much shields his entire team from that self-destruct. And now the Graviton Surge comes in. Dragon Strike right down the middle. Grunts gets the pick on Predator. And right now the only two people left, Craniac, who's trying to heal the Primal Rage mode of Kirua right now. Trying to help his team stagger a little bit. Now we head into overtime. Nobody on the point. Oh, gets there just in time, President. And Gohan right there to try and secure the point, but it's all the damage from the Ashes. Right now, the only one left to go is Kirua. Now the Tracer also coming out from Predator, trying to stack out here. Transcendence also being used by Golden Sun, and that will be it. Round one complete here. And so from the Ashes with a good defensive hold here on the third point, but still has a challenge, 2 points, and 2 points, and if I get the distance here, it's going to be 2 points and 53.64 meters to win the game here on Watch Point Gibraltar. So no chance of a tie really, but it's going to come down. Oh, it actually says 53.64. The game said 53.64, but nonetheless, two hundredths of a meter difference there to see if they win the game or not. So now it's going to come down to this. Can from the Ashes tie up the series here at 1-1. So we're going to see the Assemble the Heroes phase, and pretty much the defense from Voltage is going to describe how they play out the game, because Voltage had a very good offensive mode going into the second point. Rather, the first point was a little shaky because from the Ashes had a good first defensive hold as well as a what you could call a final defensive hold before Voltage took over. And then coming into the final turn as well, that payload from Voltage just could not get around the second turn, and so that very well could be the downfall here for Voltage, and from the Ashes could rise up for the win here. We're going to see the defensive standouts here from Voltage. It's pretty much going to be a 2-2-2 standard. Gohan plays on the Zarya as well as Kirua on the Reinhardt. In the meantime, DPS-wise, Killua playing the Hanzo and Predator with the Whittle. So a double sniper combo coming out for Voltage. And pretty much the same thing, President and Craniac, your healers. Pretty much switching roles though. President moves on over to the Mercy as well as Craniac on the Syndiata. Can't say anything about From the Ashes yet because they do not have I don't know if this is going to be said, but right now it's pretty much going to be the same thing that they had back on the first round from against Voltage rather, From the Ashes. Pretty much, and I think, yes, From the Ashes is pretty much going to stay with this. And going to have the double sniper combo coming out from No Mercy Main and McCrunk, so it's going to be a battle to see who lands more shots on the other. And now you're going to see, once again, a very aggressive push from Volition and Pixel. They're going to have themselves to try here. No Mercy Main exactly knew where Predator was coming up, and Craniac takes down No Mercy Main, so one sniper down, one to go for the team from Voltage. A little bit of a different story, though. From the Ashes actually gets the payload around the first turn and inside the dip as well.
I need healing.
So now it's going to be a battle here. Tries to get it up the hill. And now they're going to get it up the hill just a little bit, so a little bit of a different story. Voltage playing a little more back than From the Ashes had in their Voltage's first attacking attempt.
Protect the payload.
And now going to try and play in that corridor, but already Gohan wins that one with the very short range damage. So already you can see they got to back up. Predator with two good headshots on Golden Sun and No Mercy Main. So again, that forces a reset. And if that wasn't the fourth reset, Kirua with a kill on Lin is the fourth reset. As everybody knows, if your Mercy goes down, everybody else goes down with it. It's going to be a reset here from the Ashes. So From the Ashes took over the first point with 45 seconds on the clock. So this may be a different story here. Voltage ready to go on their defense here from the Ashes. Moving off from the double sniper, Mercy Main switches on over from the Hanzo to the Genji, thinking that that's going to do a little more damage, and they hope that they are right now. Infrared sight used by Predators, so they know where they are to start, but not really helpful to see where their position is when they start jumping in, and that's going to be Volition and Pixel 5 starting off with some good damage. Aiming for the Widowmaker, Pixel 5 right away takes down any background damage needed from that Widowmaker. President also goes down, so that is going to be huge for them. So it's going to help out as well. And now the payload keeps moving here. Killua gets the kill on No Mercy Main, but Volition is there to avenge him. So the only one left is Craniac, who goes down by the hands of McCrunk with a headshot. So a minute of additional time than what Voltage had in their first attack. From the Ashes gets point number 1. So first point attack is successful. Now the door is going to open up and finally close here as that payload already moving along in that very short first turn, and now going to move into turn number 2 with no trouble at all. Kirua right there to try and shield off any damage possible. But here comes Kirua with that Winston, but Predator right there to pick him off. So right now, from the Ashes looking good with their first attack. Voltage is there. Now comes the Earth Shatter. Gets, I believe that's going to be Crunk in the process, and does take him out with the charge. So this looks like it's going to be a winning battle from the Ashes. You can see the Genji from No Mercy being in the background trying to get any damage that he can. But he's the only one there with 5 people looking for him. And just pretty much going to stagger himself there. Gohan takes down No Mercy main, so that's going to be a huge stagger from the Ashes. Going to have to wait a little while, but let's take a look at the ult economy coming up. Both sides, actually Voltage with 5, and from the Ashes with 4. Pretty much similar. The only 2 that are differential, No Mercy main with that Dragon Blade, as well as Olition with that self-destruct. And now Golden Sun is going to bring out 3 ults coming up at the same time. Graviton, Surge, Dragon Strike, as well as the Transcendence comes up, but already Voltage with 2 kills to start. It's going to help out the defense at 2:45 on the clock. And they already have them pushed up, maybe even to the 2 doors. Just so hard to get through at this point if you're pushed all the way back there. And that's going to be the problem here from the Ashes here, trying to get a few shots onto the team from Voltage. Payload moves back even further and further. But as you saw back on round number 1, Voltage had themselves about a minute and a half left to go before they got additional time. And now we're going to see the Dragon Blade come out in the background from the No Mercy main. Here comes the Deadeye coming out from Predator. Not going to get anybody in that process. Kirua ends the reign of No Mercy main right now. So it's still a good push here as the payload moves around the first 3 turns. And it's going to be a win from the Ashes here. It's the team from Olition and McCrunk coming in and basically taking out 4 people from the team on Voltage's side. So 2 minutes left to go on the point. Now they're going to have 3.5 to push it all the way. 53.65 meters to win this game here on Gibraltar. Self-destruct comes out of the background. That is not going to get anybody. And actually, Predator does take out Olition before he can get back in the mech. But McCrunk is there to avenge his teammates. So right now, still looking good from the Ashes. Right now, as this payload moves closer and closer, right within 20 meters left to go on that point. I don't know if Voltage is trying to regroup here, but they got to regroup fast because that payload is so close to the point already. 3 minutes left to go here. Still McCrunk winning this Widowmaker battle, so that could be huge right now. But the Reinhardt battle also being won by Kirua, as again, I forgot to mention that Pixel did move over to the Reinhardt, so right now it's still a push and shove battle. Now, right now, as Maui was saying, the Widowmaker battle being won by the team from the Ashes, and McCrunk is right there to help out. Now the Graviton Surge comes in, only 1 person is there, but that's going to be enough as Kirua takes down Olition. And I don't know if from the Ashes is going to back up here. And they're going to try and back up. Now you're going to see the ult economy coming up from both sides. This could be huge. Transcendence as well as a Valkyrie up from the Ashes, as well as a Dragon Strike from No Mercy main. That could be huge as well. Back on the other side, Voltage has a Dragon Strike, but not much help unless Brainiac gets the rally in this fight, as well as Kirua with that Earth Shatter. Now the Dragon Strike comes out from Kirua on the other side, as well as the Dragon Strike coming out from No Mercy main. So 2 dragons right down the middle of that payload. Right now it is in the hands of Voltage winning this game. The rally now Transcendence and Valkyrie coming out from Lin. So that's basically going to be 2 healing ults down and 2 healers maybe going down as well. Well, McCrunk right there in the background, you can see him elevated, takes down a few people. Killua gets the big kill on Lin, so that's going to be huge. The Mercy is the one to back him up, so that point just under 5 meters to the golden square. Actually going to get pushed up a little bit more. 3.08 meters left to go. With 1:21 on the clock, here comes from the Ashes team ready to strike. 1 ult here that's going to make a difference is the Earth Shatter. That's going to be huge. Gangsto 05 gets himself a double kill, a triple kill. Gets himself a good start here to the fight from the Ashes. Final point, the only one left on this point right now is Killua on the Hanzo. And that payload is going to get moved up, which means from the Ashes is at least taking this to game 4 because they have won game number 2. Takes the island here on Watch Point Gibraltar. Great win there for from the Ashes. Wins here on Watch Point Gibraltar. Big play here from Pixel 05. Gets the double Earth Shatter, which is huge, as well as gets Gohan in the process, and that is what won the game basically for From the Ashes right there. So that's going to be huge. For them, and you can see on the cards right now, the healers big for From the Ashes right now. Lin as well as Golden Sun, both doing a lot of healing. Trent and 9,097 healing done, as well as 18,974 healing on the other side. So basically, almost 28,000 healing from both of them. So really a very impressive healing team From the Ashes, and that is what also helps them win game number 2. So we at least go to an assault map to win the series, at least if it goes 3-1. Otherwise, we go to an assault. Otherwise, we go to another control map, which is going to be, if my memory serves me right, Lijiang Tower. But right now, we're going to move on to our next map, which is the hybrid map. So it's going to be From the Ashes with the ban and Voltage with the pick. And we're going to see if our producer/analyst has any words for this game. Yeah, and so we're going to bring back Team Havoc coach Maui here. So what did you see from that game that was a little different that led From the Ashes win that game?
I don't think that the sub for Red Panda, subbing in McCrunk for Red Panda was really too good of a choice. Like, it probably wouldn't have had too much of an effect on the outcome of the game, but I honestly feel like Red Panda might be a superior Widow just in terms, or just at least against Voltage. I also think on their defense From the Ashes, they running that Widow for the first and second points allowed Voltage to take advantage of the Widowmaker because they were running double flanker dive comp, so they were just able to walk all over that Widowmaker for the first and second point. They adapted on the third point, actually full held for third, which is really good. So it shows that the team can adapt to a situation, but they were a little slow on it, so they might want to work on just adapting a lot faster to what's going on.
Mm-hmm. All right, so so pretty much what it came down to as well was, I mean, McCrunk was going off with that Widowmaker as well, but taking a look at Voltage, you have Predator as well as the team from Gohan and Kirua with that double tank combo as well. They play pretty well. So coming into this next map, I mean, both sides have their advantage players, but what does both sides need to do to really take this next map?
I feel like for Eichenwald, it's a very good map for both Widowmaker on second and third, or just at least on second. On third and first, Widowmaker's not really that powerful, but for first and second, Pharah is extremely powerful. So I feel like for the second point From the Ashes, they want that Widowmaker if they run the Pharah. For first point, they might want to try a McCree Zenyatta, try to discord the Pharah, discord the Mercy, something like that, and use the McCree to pressure the Pharah to stop them from getting value with the Pharah. But that's only if they run the Pharah. If they go with likely Death Ball with Hanzo Pharah, maybe Pharah Tracer, then that's what they might want to do to try to counter that and get around that.
All right. Well, we'll let you go back to your producing. So thank you very much for your input as well. You're doing a great job producing, might I add, by the way. The stream looks wonderful. But now we're going to move on to our third game here, Eichenwald, and the map is Eichenwald, which is the hybrid map. We're going to see if the teams are ready to play here. So a 1-to-1 game, and this is going to be interesting because this is the playoff game, and both of these teams, number 4, coming into this, Voltage was number 4, and number 5 was From the Ashes. But right now, this looks like a very good series coming up here. So it's 1-to-1. Right now, and a very interesting pick because you usually don't see this map in a hybrid because King's Row was actually banned by the team from the Ashes. Voltage was the one with the pick this time, and they picked Eichenwald, which is a very interesting pick because normally on hybrid maps you usually see like Numbani and all that if King's Row is not available, but no. Eichenwald is the pick, and the big thing here, I would say, the big thing here is going to be the archway under the first point. That's usually the huge place that starts off pretty much every fight, and if you can set up a few turrets here and there, that could be very helpful. But as well as if you go on to the other points as well, coming into the escort part of it, it's going to be that bridge that is really the difference maker, as well as that very short home stretch. That home stretch back on Watchpoint Gibraltar, very longer one than you see here on Eichenwald, so it's going to be different, very interesting to see what these teams do in that home stretch if that payload gets there. But these teams very evenly matched so far, as you can see, 1-to-1 scored. 1-to-1 score is basically Golden Sun throws himself off the edge. Don't know how that happened. But pretty much stalling all the time. I guess you have to do something with 30 seconds left if your spawn point is that close to the setup range. But anyways, so 20 seconds left to go. You're going to see the defense phase here. Actually, sorry, my fault. Golden Sun actually going to switch off of the Orisa. That's why he killed himself. Golden Sun now playing the Zenyatta. You're pretty much going to see the same thing on both sides that you saw back on Gibraltar. Only difference, no Mercy main on the Pharaoh, McCrunk now on the Hanzo. In the meantime, Voltage on the other side. Again, same thing that you saw back on Gibraltar, but this time 3 supports with Predator moving on to the Zenyatta, hopefully getting some Orb of Discord damage as well. But McCrunk already starting us off with a kill on Craniac. This could very well be a win, but it's a 2-for-2 trade right now on both sides. It's going to come down to who wins the fight here, because this very well could be a first good push. Already Voltage under the archway. And now they're right next to the tower, so this is going to be up to Voltage to see what they do with the push. Now they have all 6 players ready to go, but so does From the Ashes. Here we go with our first on point push here. And already it's going to be the team from the Ashes getting 2 people off already. Craniac the only one left on that point. But it's going to keep getting hit by 3 people from Volition, as well as the Pharah, and Craniac's just going to knock himself off the edge. That's going to be a reset here for Voltage. So From the Ashes winning their first defensive fight. A minute melted off the clock. So 2:55 on the clock right now. It's going to be From the Ashes with advantage in the ult economy. Predator switches on over to the Hanzo, as well as Craniac now on the Mercy. And now you're going to have 2 ults coming up from the Ashes. There's going to be the Valkyrie from Lin, as well as McCrunk having that Dragon Strike with a big one coming up as well. That, actually the Graviton Surge and the Earth Shatter coming up, as well as the Rocket Barrage. And if Golden Sun gets his ult up as well, that's all 6 ults coming up from the Ashes. The question is the discipline on the ults, what they use and when they use it. Now you're going to have the Graviton Surge coming out, as well as the Dragon Strike coming right down the middle. I think the Graviton Surge gets eaten up, and that is not going to be a successful 2 ults there. So both Dragon Strike and the Graviton Surge comes down, meaning Voltage has the advantage coming up now. Now the Graviton Surge comes in, as well as the Transcendence. Pixel's going to use the Earth Shatter, and No Mercy Main's going to use that Rocket Barrage as well. It goes down to the hands of Predator. But right now, McCrunk and Predator pretty much having a Hanzo battle here, because right now it is both sides that are playing off their shots. But McCrunk with the better shots here. And right now it's going to be advantage from the Ashes, but no. And really a started battle also going on here between Volition and Killua, but McCrunk ending the battle with 2 kills on Gohan and Kirua. So right now From the Ashes with another good defensive hold. And so another... And only a minute and a half left to go here on the clock for Voltage to try and push this, but keep in mind, Voltage does have 4 ults coming up. Dragon Strike, Valkyrie, Self-Destruct, and Earth Shatter coming up for Voltage, but From the Ashes only with the Dragon Strike. And unless Volition can get that Graviton Surge coming in, we won't see a Graviton Surge Dragon Strike combo coming from them. But there it is, there's the ult, so the question is when and where they use it. Valkyrie comes out. Graviton Surge comes out. Predator's going to have himself a Dragon Strike, as well as McCrunk also getting himself 2 kills on that Dragon Strike. And that's pretty much going to be it for From the Ashes. Only 2 people left for Voltage. That's going to be Craniac with the only person left to go. And I think, and that Mercy's going to retreat. She's just going to get back in time. And so backing up is Mercy main, but a huge, good defensive hold once again from Voltage. And Predator using that Dragon Strike, only getting 1 person in the process, but not enough to force a team fight after that, because the Graviton Surge comes in for McCrunk as well as Volition, and that's going to be huge. Now the Earth Shatter comes out from Pixel 5 as well as Kirua. So it's a battle of who can get the kill, who can get the right kills. Now the Rocket Barrage comes in from No Mercy main. Kilua's going to end that streak, but not before he takes down Kirua. Right now it's advantage from the Ashes. Predator, we've seen Predator on the Pharaoh before, and he's been deadly. See if that happens, but Pixel 05 can be even deadlier with this Reinhardt right now, helping the team right now. Not even a tick so far. They need to get at least a tick for at least Voltage to have a chance at something here. Now the Graviton Surge comes in. The question is what they're going to do with it. And now Pixel 5 off the point, which means, the only one left to go there, and actually gets the first tick, so they're going to have at least 33.3%, at least 34.9% on this point right now. The question is the follow-up. Gohan takes down McCrunk to start, so the only one left is that No Mercy main on the Tracer. It's going to be a battle of damage at this point. Now the stagger working out. Lin goes down. No more heals for No Mercy main. So 5 now, and the rest of the team comes in to help him.
I could use some healing.
Gets a little bit on the next tick, so they're at 38.7% right now. But it's still a battle of the damage. No heals on either side. The only one left is Golden Sun, who goes down in the hands of Gohan. And so this tank keeps moving. It keeps moving up and up. Nobody else is going to try and get the point. And so a very impressive overtime push for Voltage. They have themselves 2.5 minutes to push it up to the second point. And what an impressive overtime push there. You don't usually, it's always impressive to see a team win an overtime battle like that. And From the Ashes was staggering a lot. That almost worked out in their favor if it wasn't for Gohan on that Winston, really helping out the team for Voltage. And now Voltage has a chance at least one more point. You're going to see From the Ashes stay up. Now the Graviton Surge, that's huge, that's on the point. Dragon Strike comes in, that's going to get one, that gets two, that gets three, and another kill on Gohan. Satamaria! What a play from McCrunk there. And that's going to get 4 kills From the Ashes. And right now, it is From the Ashes in the driver's seat.
Thanks for the assist.
And that is huge. The Dragon Strike Graviton Surge combo from All-Illusion, as well as McCrunk winning that battle. So one more try from Voltage here with a minute and a half left to go. McCrunk really winning the battle with that Hanzo right now, really helping out From the Ashes so far. And now the Earth Shatter comes in. That's going to be huge from Pixel 05. That's 3 people going down. And pretty much swings the hammer away. That's huge Earth Shatter from him. And that's going to be another reset here from Voltage, and From the Ashes with another good defensive hold. 1 minute on the clock here, even if 1 minute on the clock. Actually, Lin uses the res on No Mercy main for the next 25 seconds. Lin is not going to have a res, so if you're Voltage, you want to take advantage of this right now, because really you got to kill Lin to take out any hopes of big kills coming from them. And right now, actually, the Winston from Kiro, or rather from Gohan, going to go up top, actually kills himself in the process, so that's not going to be a good sign for Voltage coming up here. And From the Ashes with another good defensive hold, because Predator and Hulu will also go down.
I need healing.
And so right now, it is still in the hands of From the Ashes. They are in the driver's seat right now with 30 seconds left to go. One more team fight left for Voltage to try and take over this point. And now the Graviton Surge comes upstairs. Really not going to get anybody. Only worse in there is going to be Golden Sun, who uses that Transcendence. Now the Dragon Strike comes out. Actually goes right down on the payload. Downhill. Predator's going to get himself 2 kills with that Rocket Barrage. But it's still a push and shove here. Pixel 5 is going to use that Earth Shatter, take down Gohan, who's the only one on point right now. Is going to take him out. And what a hold by From the Ashes. You know they can play defensively. And how about that? Only 1 point and a couple of meters on the first point in a very long Eichenwald map. And so only, I believe that was just over 40 meters there in the distance. Yes, 42.34 meters with no time remaining. From the Ashes has the ability to win game number 3 here on Eichenwald. The question is, can they? So we're going to see now the Assemble the Heroes phase. And once again, a really good defensive hold. The biggest play there, once again, I would say, was McCrunk with that Dragon Strike coming up against coming up with All-Illusion's Graviton Surge, which was huge because that allowed more time to be wasted off the clock. But I think the biggest mistake coming towards the end, and I think Maui can agree with me there, was that Gohan plague that he jumps off the map, which basically forces a 6-on-5, which From the Ashes won and took advantage of. So that was huge going into there. And now you're going to see the attack From the Ashes needs 1 point and 42.38 meters to win game number 3 rather, to win game number 3 and take this to game 4 and almost win the series right there. So now it all comes down to this. Can From the Ashes win it? Because there is no chance of a tie here at this point. There is no chance of a tie. So we're going to see the defense here. Let's take a look at the lineup here From the Ashes, or rather defensive lineup for Voltage here. You're You're going to see President Craniad, your main healers, Mercy and Zenyatta. On the other hand, Predator's going to move on over from the Pharah that we've seen him play and move on over to the McCree now. Killua's going to try his hand at the Hanzo. Now Gohan over from the Winston to the Zarya. Pretty much every hero stays the same. Both from the Ashes on the other side, though, pretty much the same lineup. No Mercy Main switches on over to the Pharah, though, and otherwise everything is the same on their side. And already a very aggressive push coming up here from the Ashes to start.
I need a doctor.
It's going to be huge right now because that's going to... Right now, that is huge. Predator takes down No Mercy Main, so that takes care of a DPS. So right now, advantage Voltage. Not looking like an advantage, though, because a 2-for-2 trade, but the biggest one, McCrug takes down President, so no huge heals coming up from Voltage. They're going to try and keep going here. But right now, it is Voltage with their first good defense, so pretty much the same story so far for Voltage and From the Ashes based on the first defense, both with a good hold under the archway, and I think that was pretty much a dry run to see what Voltage was doing, and you can see that because No Mercy Main now moves on over from the Pharah to the Junkrats. We'll see how much damage that does to the team. And now we're going to see once again the ult economies coming up from the Ashes with 3 ults. The Valkyrie, the Dragon Strike, as well as the Earth Shatter comes up. Earth Shatter, if the Earth Shatter comes up, that's huge. That's going to get 4 people in the process. Now the Earth Shatter as well comes on from the other side from Kirua. Right now, advantage from the Ashes because they have themselves 2 kills, a 2-to-1 trade for now. And right now, it is looking good for From the Ashes. As Gohan kills himself in the process, and Golden Sun takes out the remaining 2 that they need to. So right now, From the Ashes, a very impressive second attempt on that point. And with 2:15 left to go on the clock, I believe they get an additional 2.5 on the clock, which is 4:45 to push this all the way with 42.38 meters remaining. The golden box right there, just outside of the gate, or just on the other side of the gate. We're going to see if From the Ashes can push this all the way through. Once again, 42.38 meters for From the Ashes to go up 2-to-1 here in the game. Now the Graviton Surge comes in. Dragon Strike also comes in. Down the middle. McCrunk, 1, 2, 3, 4. Santa Maria. What a play. That's a team kill. And that is all but over from the Ashes. What a play. McCrunk not only gets 1 quadruple kill, but gets 2 in the same game. What a play! And that is it for From the Ashes. They are winning the series now 2-to-1. They have the chance. They are looking good. The Phoenix rises from the Ashes here. The Phoenix has finally awoken. Play of the game right here on the attack. No question about it. From McCrunk, the Graviton Surge combo as well. Places it exactly where Alition places that Graviton Surge. No question about it. What a play there from McCrunk. Again, you can see his card, 60% kill participation with 38 eliminations. And Lynn, once again, 40% or over healing done for this team. What more can you say about the healers on the team from the Ashes? They are up 2-to-1. And this is just an impressive streak as we bring in our producer slash analyst, once again, Maui from Team Havoc. And what more can you say about that game?
That was amazing. That shatter Dragon Strike right at the end there. That was amazing, and that was too perfect to have not been coordinated. Like, that was absolutely perfect. Just hammer. You know that they're going to be in that general area. Just hammer Dragon Strike. You kill all 5 of them, and then you win the fight from that. I'm pretty sure they also the enemy team, I think it was Voltage, also threw out their Graviton right as that happened, and only got the Zenyatta in the trance, so they knew that they should have just played back. They knew that they had Graviton, and they knew that all they had to do was hammer Dragon Strike. They also they had a Bastion at the end there. That was kind of funny to me.
Oh, there was a Bastion at the end.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a Bastion behind the Hanzo. It was kind of funny because I'm just like, wait, why are they Bastion? That's... I guess they thought, we have like 5 minutes. You only have to push that little bit. Might as well go Bastion, try to see how it works. But overall, it was an amazing game from the Ashes. They, I said earlier, against the Fair, they might want to run a Widowmaker. But they decided that a Pharah was the better choice, and I honestly can agree with that, because the way it worked, they managed to hold them so early in the second push, or in the second point, that the Pharah Hanzo probably was better than what a Tracer Widow or a Hanzo Widow would have been in that situation. just for that team because they had the opposing team on attack, Voltage, had no answer to that Pharaoh.
And so now Voltage in a little bit of a hole here. They were up 1-0 start back on Elios, and then for a reason or another, from the Ashes, basically giving the answer that they need here in the last two maps, both on Watchpoint Gibraltar with that 3-2 win, as well as Eichenwald, and you saw the previous 2-1 there. And I'm rewatching the stream, and I'm so glad you caught that Dragon Strike, because that was huge. Because let's go back to that McCrunk with a huge Hanzo play, and really you were talking about Red Panda switching on being subbed in for or McCrunk, so that's been huge for them so far. So what does Voltage need to do to try and shut down McCrunk at this point?
I feel like to shut down McCrunk, he's not as good at Widow as the person he was subbed out for, but his Hanzo is a lot superior, and I feel like that's why they subbed him out for McCrunk. I think it was Red Panda for McCrunk, and to really shut down a Hanzo, there's no real way you can really do it. I'd say their Zenyatta player, when they do their grab combo, don't trance, because you're wasting that ult and you'll lose that fight either way. Don't trance, save it for their Reinhammer and something like that. Play around their Hanzo. You can't directly counter them, but you can play around him, especially as a Zenyatta.
And so now our next map, Hanamura, could very well be the ender. So what do you think here on Hanamura? What is the key to winning this map? Because it's going to be huge for both sides to try and win this, either to take this to Game 5 or to pretty much win the series if you're from the Ashes right here.
For Hanamura, it's a very strong Widow map. It's a very strong Hanzo map. It's also very strong with Mei. I don't see these teams running Mei personally, but I do see... It's also good for Ana if you're on defense, but I don't see them running Mei. The Widow would be very risky because Dive is pretty good on this map. The Hanzo Zarya, I can see them running because that is very powerful and on every map, especially in this meta. So I can see, for defense, them running Deathball Hanzo Zarya, maybe a Brigadier in there, and then going from there on attack, maybe a dive, maybe just plain old Deathball double sniper, and then trying it from that.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to producing, so thank you so much, Maui. We'll see you after our next game. Hope we may see a Game 5. We may see a team win here from the Ashes, so we'll see you back here after the next game. But we'll move on to our next map once again. Hanamura is our next map here. The map choice of Voltage. And I believe the first map that was banned was banned Horizon, yes. Horizon was the first map to get banned. So, I mean, even with the rework, I don't think anybody likes Horizon Lunar Colony because we haven't seen Horizon HLG or HLC being used yet. But Hanamura, a very popular 2CT pick, and this is going to be why. As you see it here in a second, because both of these teams love the gate. But the second point is usually the hardest to take, and that's where you usually see the big plays come out, because that second point is really open to ideas depending on if you're defending or attacking. So that's going to be a very interesting point to see if these teams can get to that second point in the process. Let's take a look at the team lineups as well as we enter our first team fight here. Red Panda also gets subbed out. I believe that's going to be Red Panda subbing in for... I believe that's going to be Golden Sun. So Golden Sun out of this game, and Red Panda in right now. So right now it's looking good for the attack here for Voltage, pushing them all the way into the point. Yep. And so Red Panda takes down Predator. So right now the Hanzo being played by Red Panda. McCrunk still playing a sniper, but that's the Ana being played right now. So Red Panda's going to try and see if he can get the better Hanzo place to come out, which so far it looks like it's going so far so good from the Ashes right now. Red Panda has himself 3 kills at the moment. So right now, just from the Ashes, looking good. And it seems like, and Red Panda going off here. And by the way, again, for those that always forget this, Hanamura was the map that had Hanzo back on the short animation from Overwatch, and this is a favorite map of Hanzo's for any Hanzo player, really. And Red Panda showing off why right now. So McCrunk playing still a sniper with that Ana, really helping out the team. Has the nano boost coming up as well as the Valkyrie from Lin. Red Panda's also going to have that Dragon Strike. I think he's still relying on the Graviton Surge as well as the Earth Shatter, but we'll see if he pulls off Red Panda pulls off the same stuff as McCrunk does. Now the Coalescence on the other side, Voltage from President being used. That's going to push back from the Ashes all the way back, and that's going to help out their team as a few seconds on this point is going to be taken off, but still not enough to force a percentage count yet on the scoreboard. Now the Graviton Surge comes out. It's only going to get 3 people down there, as well as the Earth Shatter comes out. That's 3 people down, but Predator is going to take down Pixel before he can do anything else. And so right now, Voltage with the advantage. Even if they have the Graviton Surge and the Earth Shatter, Red Panda's going to keep it out of play. So right now, Voltage is going to have themselves their first strike here on the point. And that is going to give them the first point as well. So now we hit into the second point with an additional 4 minutes on the clock, 5:40 on the clock for Voltage to get the second point here on Hanamura. So right now it's looking good for Voltage so far. 5:40 on the clock, and that is a lot of time. But if you're on this map right now, Hanamura is a very enclosed space, so not too much options that you have if you're saying like you're a Pharah or stuff like that. But nobody a Pharah right now, and that's going to be huge for both sides because now we get to see their gameplay as with a non very up there style. Dragon Strike comes into play for Red Panda. That's not going to get anybody in the process. So now here comes the self-destruct coming on from Gohan. Is that going to get anybody? Pixel goes down with the hands of Gohan self-destruct. And now the Dragon Blade comes out for Killua. He goes down in the process as McCrunk ends his reign. But right now it's looking good because for Voltage right now because they do have the advantage on the point in a 3-2 situation. And now, and see another point about Hanamura is here too is that spawn point is right next to the defense point, so that's huge because that allows any defensive team to stagger very impressively, and that is going to force a reset here for Voltage. So from the Ashes with their first good defensive hold, takes off 1.5 minutes off the clock. So no big plays really on both sides right now. The only big play came off of from the Ashes, or sorry, Voltage's second push rather from both President and Killua to start up, as well as Gohan and Kirua really helping out their team in that first push. But now you can see that from that last one, the staggers are going to be huge if you're from the Ashes. If your team goes down, you still have a chance at it because that spawn point is so close to the defense point. But now you see the ult economy is coming up. 4 ults coming up from the Ashes. You're going to have a Graviton Surge, Dragon Strike, Nano Boost, and Lin using that Valkyrie as well. Now the Graviton Surge being used. That's 5 people there. Dragon Strike coming down. Red Panda's going to get a double kill. And pretty much the rest of the team is going to pretty much take the glory of Red Panda after Killua takes him down. And so the rest of the team there to take him down. Not exactly a team kill because I don't know who it was, but I think President was the one to stay alive in that matchup. Oh, Killua was the one, I apologize. Killua was the one to stay alive in there, so not exactly a team kill, but a huge team fight nonetheless from the Ashes. But they are 2 ults down already. Or, sorry, my apologies, 3 ults down, but No Mercy Main has the rally coming up, as well as McCrunk with that Nano Boost, and if Pixel is the one to use it, that Earth Shatter could be huge. In the meantime, Voltage on the other side has that Valkyrie ready to go, as well as the Pulse Bomb from Predator. So if that Pulse Bomb gets anyone, then you might want to get a DPS in the background, because right now, Red Panda and Red Panda the only DPS on their side, 3 supports on the side from the Ashes. Now you're going to see the ticks being taken up a little, but Predator is the one to go down, so the Pulse Bomb no longer available. Craniat uses the Valkyrie upstairs, which is going to give his team a little bit of heals, but not much there afterwards. And now you're going to have 4 ults coming up here. Voltage. Or sorry, now Gohan's gonna have his ult coming up in just a little while, but right now it is from the Ashes winning this battle all around. The only one left is the Winston from Kirua, who's gonna go down once again by the hammer swings of Pixel 05. So right now from the Ashes looking good under defensive hold. They had 5:40 on the clock to defend this point, but 3.5 minutes melted off the clock. So from the Ashes looking good. They may have 2 more pushes left to go, 2, maybe 3 more pushes to defend here. If Voltage is looking for a third one, they may look for a dry run here. But Voltage may also have the ults that they need here. Coalescence comes down as well as the Earth Shatter comes down, takes down Kiro in the process, but that's the only big one. And now the Dragon Strike comes right down the middle, right in the correct place there. Takes down Gohan, but now the Self-Destruct comes out. It's going to take down McCrunk. Red Panda also takes down Craniat, which is a huge kill because that takes care of some healing, as well as some annoyance there if you're a Lucio right now. And now the Dragon Blade comes out from Killua, trying to get a few kills in the background. The question is how many? Now Killua takes down No Mercy Main with that Primal Rage. The stagger's still on from the Ashes right now. More time wasted off the clock. As No tick still yet to be taken. No tick yet to be taken here from Voltage. Looking good. The only one, once again, the only one holding that point is Kirua to end that team fight. And from the Ashes with another good defensive hold. So Voltage has one more chance at this, but if you're looking at their ult economy right now, it is not looking good. If you're Voltage right now to try and get one more push in. Kilua moves on to the McCree, so no more ult from him as well. From the Ashes is going to have at least an Earth Shatter comes out if Pixel gets there in time, which he does just in the next time, as well as the Graviton Surge and a Nano Boost from McCrunk, which could very well be deadly in this situation. That grenade's also going to be huge too, because that takes down Gohan's ability to heal. Right now it's looking good for Voltage. And now it's going to be the Dragon Strike coming right down the middle from Predator. Takes down Aulition in the middle. So right now 3v1 the point, and now the tick counter is there. Aulition takes down Kirua with the Graviton Surge. So the stagger is on for from the Ashes to try and hold it. Now No Mercy Main takes over the Nano Boost. He's going to get some damage boost here from that Nano Boost from McCrunk, who goes down in the process. But right now it's still looking good here from the Ashes. And right now, only 37.6% on the tick right now as that tick reverts back. And now 5 seconds left to go. Oh, Red Panther shuts down Predator. Still no chance of a Dragon Strike right there. You heard the Hanzo saying, but just in the nick of time, Red Panther's there to shut him down, so it's looking good for From the Ashes. At this point, Voltage has to stagger, but that is a far place to run from in their spawn point. Primal Rage comes out for Kirua to try and stall some time. Now the Deadeye from Kilua comes in. Taken down by Red Panda at the same time, self-destruct on the point. Takes down a double kill on Aulition and Lin. This could be the push that Voltage is looking for. And now that is it. 3v1 on the point. Final chance here. That is a team kill. Can they get there in time? No. Second point. Again, Voltage in overtime with another push. And applause for them. Another good push from Voltage. An overtime push. We saw this on Eichenwald in the first point. They got their first payload point. Then they come to Hanamura with their second overtime push and wins the point. And they're now 2-0, which means From the Ashes needs all the points that they can get here. 2 points. Otherwise, Voltage takes this to game 5. And what a game that was from Voltage. It looked like From the Ashes had all the advantage going into that final fight. Or sorry, From the Ashes looked like they had the advantage going all the way into that final fight. But it's Voltage that comes out with a victory, mainly from that double kill, the double self-destruct kill from Gohan, which really forced a reset from the Ashes, which they couldn't afford because otherwise it would be game over for them. And it was game over anyways due to Voltage just outpowering From the Ashes. So right now it is looking good for Voltage, but FDA has to find a way to get 2 points here. Otherwise we go on to game 5 for sure. So now with 45 seconds left to go, let's see the defensive team for Voltage. And as Maui said before, and this is why he's a head coach, folks. You can tell why he's a head coach. He knows what to play here. Kilua is going to bring out the Mei, and that is going to be huge because, again, Mei, another good hero to play here in Hanamura. And you're going to see Predator play the Roadhog as well. So they're trying to get some damage with a triple tank, double support, and only 1 DPS coming out from Kilua. So Voltage really trying to hold the line here, see if they can force 0 points. And even if they give up the first point, they still have the second point to give up with as much time as From the Ashes is going to try and get. In the meantime, on the attack phase, don't know if anybody's going to change here, but 3 supports, 3 tanks coming out from FTA. So they're going to look for, to stall out Voltage as long as possible here. Either that or try and get some damage on the point as well as some health. So we're going to see how well that works out for FTA as well as Voltage. And right now, so far so good. The wall only blocks off 3 people, but other 3 people are still in play here From the Ashes. And so Red Panda actually gets D-Max, so that is not good for FTA right now if you're them. That's going to get pushed back all the way. Aulition, the only one there. Lin's going to try and keep him alive. So right now, actually, oh boy, that's going to be the Lucian point for just a little while. So right now, it's actually looking good. I said it was looking good for FTA or for Voltage, but right now with that stagger, FTA is back in it. And really, they're going to take over a little bit of the point. Nobody really defending this point. They're going to have themselves the first tick, and now it's up to Voltage to stop the rest. But at least From the Ashes guarantees themselves at least 1 tick, 2 ticks actually here. It's going to guarantee themselves at least 2 ticks. So even if they're pushed back, FDA's got another shot at it. The whole hog comes out. Where Predator gets 1 kill on Pixel and Aulition. That's huge. That's off the map. So Predator huge with that whole hog. and that is going to allow a defensive hold for FTA so far. Or, sorry, for Voltage so far against FTA, and that's going to force the Lucio back. Ooh. Doesn't get the hook there, unfortunately, but there to get away is McCrunk on the Lucio. But right now, the 3-3 working so far. If you're FDA, might want to stick with it because you had yourself 2 ticks so far, but 2.5 minutes left to go. I believe Voltage had 5 minutes and 40 on the clock before they got to their first push on the 6 point. FDA still got a chance at this, coming up with 2 ults, but 3 ults coming in for Voltage as well. It's going to come down to the discipline of the ult. Earth Shatter comes in, not really going to get anybody for Pixel 5, and now the Earth Shatter gets 2 people in the meantime, and that's going to be huge. That's 3 people down for Voltage, or 3 people down for FDA so far, and that is going to be it for this push from FDA. It's going to be a huge stagger though if FDA's Diva goes down from Red Panda. Red Panda's going to be able to back up just in time. No, he's not. Oh, gets away just in time. The very scare tactics right there from the Roadhog the Predator. But Predator, his name for a reason, because he is being the threat to FTA right now. So we're going to see here FTA trying to push themselves. So no chance for FDA to get the same amount of time as Voltage had in their first push. Red Panda's going to try to self-destruct. It's not going to be there. Kibrua actually takes down his brain before that. Now the Blizzard comes in. That's huge. That's 3 people in there. That's McCrunk, Pixel, and No Mercy Mate, who all go down at the same time. That is huge. Olishin right there against the wall. Olishin's just going to try and keep himself alive as long as possible, but it's not going to work. And now with a minute left to go, Voltage looking to take this 2-0 here. Try to take this to Game 5 on Lijiang Tower. Phoenix calls for 60 seconds remaining here in the match. It is still up to the team to try and push whatever they can. Look at the ult economy, so it's not looking good for FTA. You've only got in Graviton Search as well as a rally coming up from number 2 main. Graviton Search being used by Allish, and the question is how well can they follow up with it? Not much there. Voltage has the whole hog as well, so going to use that to try and push down any shields that No Mercy main has, maybe. Right now it's a push and shove match. 605, their main tank is going to go down. So right now, from the Ashes, they're going to have to back up and reset here. 25 seconds left to go. They've got one more shot at this if they are willing to stagger. They'll force a reset at this point. 15 seconds left to go. Somebody's got to get on this point. 10 seconds left to go. Nobody close to the point right now. Now they're going to enter the game. Pixel actually gets stopped right there from the charge. Nobody's going to be able to get to the point on time unless Alishin is dead. And that is... Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me for a second. No Mercy gets there on the point to start overtime, but it's not going to be enough. Welcome to Game 5 of the series. Winner take all in Game number 5 as Voltage wins here on Hanamura 2-0. So let's take a look here. Play the game going to the Roadhog from Predator. This is going to be huge because I believe this was the whole hog coming in. Takes down No Mercy main, but take a look at this. Actually pushes Pixel and Allishin off the map, and that is the way the whole hog is deadly in that case because Hanamura, that back, just not enough to really... I mean, if a whole hog gets there and you're hitting everything from that whole hog, that's pretty much it for you. Take a look at the cards, though, because, again, a 2-2, but Lin with this healing, not exactly 40%, so the first game that we haven't seen Lin go 40% or over on healing, but still a lot of healing nonetheless. It was just Voltage that did that much damage. So we're going to bring in, once again, our producer slash analyst, and looks like we're going to Game 5, so what did Voltage do there to take down, pretty much shut down from the Ashes entirely?
I feel like it wasn't really a fault from the Ashes. It wasn't anything that Voltage really did that really made them lose. Like, from the Ashes, it looked to me like they were using that Lucio against the Mei to coordinate and push through the choke. So when the Mei put down her wall, they were all past the choke and they were all grouped up together. No one got cut off and no one got picked. But it just... The way the team fights went, I feel like Voltage was just a lot better. Just as a whole, just playing. Because on the first fight, they get pushed off the point. They're down. They only have all 3 of their tanks. Their Zen's coming back from spawn. He's on point B. Like, he's not going to be there. But the Roadhog comes in and clutches the fight and wins that point. That's the only reason that they really won that fight was the Roadhog play. from I forget who it was, President or President?
That was from, I believe the
Predator.
Roadhog plate from Voltage was from Predator, yes.
Yes. That kind of won them the point and the game because with the comp that From the Ashes was running, dive comp or not dive comp, goats comp, you kill the Reinhardt, you snowball the fight, and once you get on the point, it's really hard. It's really hard to get them off, right? So the Roadhog ult really just peeled them off that point, and from then on, they just managed to hold them for the rest of the point A and won the game from that.
All right, so we go into Lijiang Tower, final map here. These teams are looking pretty even at this point because we saw game one, Voltage winning that control map back on Ilios 2-1, and now wins the 2 CP Hanamura. So it looks like control points are really Voltage's advantage here, but now we go into Lijiang Tower, final map, and From the Ashes had themselves two good escort plays with Watchpoint, Gibraltar, and Eichenwald. What is the key to both teams winning here with their final map, winner go home?
For this map especially, the inside map server room, the name eludes me because you guys see it right now. But
yeah, control center, yeah.
Control center, yes. It's really good on this map to run a Junkrat Deathball because you go for that control in the server room, and then you go from there for the rest of the fight. Okay, and from that, the Junkrat, like I was saying, the Junkrat is really powerful. And I feel them from Voltage, I'm not sure if they're going to stay with this comp, but them running, okay, they're going Junkrat. But you need to run a Junkrat here, Junkrat, Zarya, Reinhardt, every single time you play this map, because if you don't, then you're just at a disadvantage if the other team is running the same Junkrat.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll let you go ahead and go back to the producing because Game 5, very important. Which team comes out with a W? And I believe we have some, going back to the Twitch audience here, we do have some people from Team Citizens that are here in the chat as well. So they're watching this game with intent to see who their opponent is because this is the quarterfinals going in. Win or go off here for both sides. Let's take a look back at the recap right now. Voltage winning game number 1 once again on Ilios 2-1 and wins Hanamura 2-0 in the 4th game. From the Ashes had 2 impressive games in a row though back on games 2 and 3. Watchpoint Gibraltar winning 3-2 as well as Eichenwald 2-1. But right now Voltage taking the first strike on the point and they are now 100% away from winning game number 1 here on the control center of Lijiang Tower. Right now, still looking good for Voltage right now. As you can see, Voltage now in the blue, From the Ashes in the red. They've switched sides. So right now, Voltage looking good, holding the point, but back on Ilios, as we saw, no point is safe from the Ashes at this point because FDA took over the point with 43 and 45% back on the first 2 maps. Lighthouse was a little bit of a different story. Now the Riptire comes in the background for Voltage, takes down Craniat, and a little bit of a trade there because Predator also uses that Riptire to take down Golden Sun. So right now it is a trade for trade here, but it is still advantage FDA right now because they only have one person left to go that remains on this point, and that is President, who gets hammered away by Pixel 05. And actually, Craniat's going to try and hold on to this as long as he can here. Try and stall out the team a little bit. Kilua on the Reaper now, try and get some damage on the tanks. Going to be protected for a little while here, and Golden Sun finally takes him out, and that should be the point. So a little bit of a different story, but nonetheless, FTA takes on over the points with 63% off the clock. So right now, it comes down to if FTA can hold this all the way, because one mistake here could be the end, could spell the end for either side. If Voltage takes this point over one more time, they very well could hold it, because 63% is a lot. The Sound Barrier comes down, as well as an Earthshatter coming down from Pixel 05 as well. So right now, advantage Voltage coming in here, a 2-for-1 trade. So right now, now the Reaper coming in with Kilua, gets the Death Blossom kill on Lin. Now the Graviton Search also comes in on the other side. From the Ashes, who's holding on as best they can. Gets a triple kill! Santa Maria! What a play from a Crump! A triple Riptire kill on Gohan, Craniac Predator. A huge play for FTA, and now Voltage does not have the advantage anymore. And FDA is going to have another defensive hold. What a play from McCrunk to help his team out. A triple kill retire. And what more can you say about that play? They have themselves the clock melting out over and over and over. So here we go. 63% and Voltage, or FDA is about to tie it up here at 63% in the next 4 seconds. And now, and now FDA has the lead. Graviton Surge being used, 2 people in there. That's going to be both Alition and No Mercy Main, who both go down by the hands. And now Predator, with his own Rip Tire, takes down Pixel 05, and that pretty much should do it for FDA. So Voltage has themselves the advantage. 1 person left, and that is the Valkyrie coming in from the trying to avoid as much damage as possible. But Kalua finally takes him down, and finally takes down Lin Router, and now 80 to 65%. It's going to be huge, but FDA needs to find a way, because this is it. This probably will be their final push for this point, because if Voltage doesn't, because if FDA loses this fight, Voltage pretty much has to win. So here we go. Voltage ties it up at 80%. Now looking for the win from the Ashes. Still looking to try and push this in. 3 people down. The only one left to go there up top is the Junkrat. Predator goes down by the hands of No Mercy Main. So right now, FDA man advantage. Now the Riptire comes out from up top. McCrunk, can he get another huge play here? Not going to get anyone in the process, so it's still advantage Voltage here. 3-1 on the point. No Mercy Main is actually going to have some protection there. Gets the Rocket Barrage, killing Kirua. That is huge. So right now, 3-1 advantage here on the point. Still looking in Voltage's favor from the Ashes, looking to try and take up this point, which they will, because they pretty much have the team kill that they need. Now it's going to go on over to their side. 99 to 80. What an overtime flip from them. Now it comes down to this, the final percentages here. 99 to 90%. It's the final team fight, the final charge on both sides. The game 1 is super important. Voltage knows it too. From the Ashes is going to back up onto the point. Now it goes down to the final ult here coming up in the ult economy. Who uses it and when they use it and what they use is critical here. It's all the ults are coming out now. And now Death Blossom comes out from Killua, gets a double kill. Alition ends his reign there though. It's still a 3-on-2 in favor of FDA so far. 1 tank goes down. The only one left there is Gohan. FDA, can they flip it just to be safe? Gohan is still there, trying to stall out some time. Lifts up. President is there to try and heal him, but it's not there. And now the Riptire comes out from McCrunk, who takes down President. Now the Sound Barrier comes out from Brainiac to try and stall out some time. Here on the point. Gonna try and stagger. The Winston coming in from Kiro to try and dive here onto the point. It is working so far. They're stalling as long as possible, but right now, FDA with the man advantage. The Sombra also comes out from Killua right now, and that clears out the point. Killua forgets about the point, and that Killua doesn't even get on the point, really. Teleports back to his translocator, and that is it. And FDA 100% away from visiting Citizens in the semifinals. What a game 1 there. That is, Division B is turning out to be a lot of fun here in the final round, folks, and this is exciting. So 15 seconds here, prepare to attack phase. This is it. FTA 100% away from meeting Citizens in the semifinals. Voltage needs to win this game in order to take it to game 3. Whoa, hold on. Uh-oh, who paused? I think someone did leg out. It is Predator that left the game for Voltage, so I guess they'll have a timer for Predator to come back. I think he did leg out. But nonetheless, let's. I think we have a little bit of time to bring in our producer here, if he doesn't mind, because we are in a pause and not much we can do about this. So I think we can bring in our analyst a little bit here. So from the Ashes, 100% away from winning the series here and moving on to play Citizens. Voltage needs to find a way to counter what FDA has so far. So what does Voltage need to do to win this game?
Really paying attention to both teams, I feel like From the Ashes just had the better Junkrat player, just the better Junkrat plays from McCrunk. Noting the triple kill Riptire he had when his team was down 2. I think when they were 40% to 60% or something like that, that really saved them and managed to help them win back percent and get to that like 80% when they recapped. Let me clarify, when Voltage recapped. So it was 99 to 80 Voltage From the Ashes, and It was just the Junkrat play as a whole from McCrunk was a lot better than I think it was from Kilue or Kill. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, but it's Killa. Um, I feel like for this map in particular, Pharah's really powerful. Pharah dive especially. You could play the Zen. You can play Zen Mercy like you normally do, things like that. Your Zen will be very vulnerable, so you might want to run that Lucio instead. Like you see, Voltage, they look like they want to run that Lucio. Um,
Mhm.
so running the dive, Farah Genji, I see from Ashes. That's a little questionable, but I mean, maybe they have something up their sleeves. But we'll see.
All right, so Predator back and joining the game here needs to find, like you said, needs to find something up their sleeves here because they really need to get this together here. Voltage one game away from something. I mean, we've seen them back on Elios. They won Elios 2-1, gave up one game to FTA, but I believe that was on game two. Now they're down game one here, and from the ashes, really stepping up to try and win this game. And again, one win away from one map win here away as we enter the Gardens. One map went away from playing Citizens in the semifinals. And that's going to be even a harder match here, but Voltage and From the Ashes playing very evenly right now. And this is going to be up to the teams here. Again, 100% is the difference here between game three here on Lijiang Tower or a win for From the Ashes. So we'll see what these teams come up with coming in to our first team fight here on the Gardens. Right now it's looking good for FTA to start off as the point unlocks in 5 seconds, but Voltage not anywhere near the point, so I think someone's just going to run in there and take a little bit of the ticks off. That's going to be right, and pretty much every one of the team on FTA goes in and takes the first strike on the point, so a different story here from from the Ashes here. Usually not the first, and that is actually the first time that FTA has taken the point first in this game. Gohan again falls off, or actually Gohan falls off the map due to No Mercy main pushing him off with those rockets. So that is a huge tank kill for them. So right now FTA looking so far so good. So again, FTA with their first strike on the point in the entire series in the control map here. Not even on Elios and not even on that first map back on Control Center. Lijiang Tower Gardens, that's where they get their first strike on a point. Now 35 seconds, they're holding it so far so good here. And now you're going to see, I don't know where that one came from, and now we're going to see the Dragon Blade comes out. That's going to be from Killua coming out. See if he can get a few strikes here on All Ishin. Get some damage just now as the self-destruct comes in. Primal Rachel comes out, No Mercy main with that Rocket Barrage, a triple kill! Santa Maria! What a play from No Mercy main. President's gonna fall off the map, and that's gonna force a reset for From the Ashes. Pixel also falls off the map as well, but Athena calls a team kill, and that is going to be From the Ashes winning another defensive hold. So 65%, a different story than we've seen again. Voltage with 63% before FTA flips in, and now FTA holding it all the way to 70%. They have a chance to end the game right here. This very well could be the final team fight as we approach the final 25% From the Ashes. So winning the series here, the sound barrier drops down for President and his team. And now they're pretty much going to push back FTA here. The self-destruct right in the middle as the Transcendence might end for Golden Sun just in the meantime. Gohan takes down No Mercy main in the meantime. Now the Dragon Blade comes out in the background. Is that going to get anybody is the question. I don't think the Dragon Blade is going to get anybody right now. President's going to try that Rocket Barrage. McCrunk is right there to reflect it in his face. And now it's looking good for Voltage so far, though. They have a 5-2 man advantage on that point. All Ishin, the only one there still on that point is the Diva. She's going to go down at this point. And now they're going to have, again, it's still in overtime. Pixel has the chance to hold on to this as long as possible here. So 3 people on the point. Pixel's going to fall off at this point, and that is going to be it. Voltage finally does something about the story. Changes the point, 99-4%, but no time, no mistakes here for Voltage. They need to win this point all the way to take this to game 3. Right now From the Ashes, if you're From the Ashes, you have plenty of time at this point because you could have 2 pushes here and still be okay, or you could have 1 or 2 more pushes here and still be okay. But the question is, coming in, you have the ult. Let's take a look at the ult economy. No Mercy main and All Ishin, both with their ults, the self-destruct and the Rocket Barrage, respectively. On the other side, using that Valkyrie is going to be Crania. Now the Rocket Barrage comes in from No Mercy main. Not going to get anybody in that process. Pretty much a wasted ult there. and not much else going to happen from the team from FTA. So again, another dry run for them. But again, 2 ults gone down, and that is the Rocket Barrage and the Self-Destruct, which is huge. You take a look at Voltage's side, though. Now you get 3 ults coming in. Kirua's got that Primal Rage. Kilua with the Death Blossom, as well as President with the Sound Barrier. So President can stall on this FTA as long as he wants to for them. And right now, it is a matter of if FTA can hold on to it, because, again, FTA's been known to flip the point. They have flipped it in a matter of, they flipped it before in a matter of seconds here. And now the Dragon Blade comes out. The Sound Barrier finally drops here from President, as well as the Transcendence coming out from Golden Sun. And so we're going to see if FTA can finally take him out. Here comes the Self-Destruct coming right in there. Smart bubble there from Kirua, who's going to basically take down anything. Kirua's going to D-Mac all Ishin, though. So right now it's still looking good for Voltage to win this one. To win this team fight right now. 81%. The only one left to go on that point is the Primal Rage mode of Pixel. Finally taking, only one person on the point, really nobody there. Predator's got himself 2 kills. It's not going to be enough to take the point. The only one left on that point was the Pharmacy combo of both No Mercy Main and Lit. Here comes the Rocket Barrage. Is that going to get anybody? No, Mercy Main actually kills himself with a Defense Matrix from Gohan. So right now it's still in favor of From the Ashes, now Voltage has the man advantage. Now the jump crack comes out from McCrunk, which was huge. Back on Control Tower. McCrunk finally going to go down. And I think it looks like unless Voltage can end the stagger here, it looks like we're going to have a bit of a stagger. Self-Destruct comes out. He's going to hide behind the wall just in time. Deadeye comes out, and now not even needed. Primal Rage and Coalescence is the way we end it. Athena announces team kill, and the objective secured for Voltage, which means the winner of this control, the winner of the night market, plays Citizens in the semifinal. This is close. 100 to 99 was that last one. That is most likely what we are going to see here in the final showdown. Night Market determines our winner of the series here on Lijiang Tower. This is it, folks. Winner, win or go off at this point, because right now it is anybody's game up to this point. Voltage finally showing their stuff here on the control point. Again, a different story than we saw back on Ilios. Voltage won game number 1 on Ilios. Then FTA had to win game number 2 to take it to game 3 back on the Lighthouse. Ilios win was finally taken by Voltage in the Lighthouse. But now we go on to the Lijiang Tower mode. Very similar process here for both sides, as FTA is going to, Voltage is going to find their way into the point first. Right now, keeping control of it. Kilua on this Reaper right now, doing some damage to the other side of FTA, and really, FTA coming up with no answers for this Reaper, and finally McCrunk takes him down. McCrunk on the Hanzo now, trying to switch up the strategy. No Mercy Main now on the Brigitte, and pretty much this is all Voltage's game to win. So Voltage takes over the point, and they are now 100% away from basically coming back here in what I think is a great comeback if you're Voltage right now. Down 1-0 back on after losing Control Center. Now you're going to come back 2-1 if you win this point right now. So 20% coming in here for the team from Voltage. Again, 80% away from meeting Citizens in the semifinals. From the Ashes, trying their best to hold on, see if they can flip the point. We've seen this before, though. If FTA can get their minds together, can get their teamwork all together here as well. Craniat uses that Coalescence, takes down No Mercy Main, but it's not enough to force a team fight. So right now, FTA is going to have to go back and reset. But Voltage, again, the last time FTA had to go and reset like this, the largest lead that FTA gave Voltage before flipping the point was 63. So we may very well see a flip here if FTA or if Voltage even allows them to do so. Deadeye comes in. That's a huge kill on Lin, because now that helps out Voltage. No chance of arrest, no big kills coming up from the Ashes. And again, it's going to be Voltage's win here on the point. So it is still coming down to the final try here. 65%. This may very well be the final team fight from both sides here. Voltage with 3 ults coming. Voltage with 3, maybe 4 ults if Craniac gets that Coalescence coming in. From the Ashes with 3 ults, maybe 4 of their own, maybe 5 if No Mercy Main, as well as that Brigitte comes, or No Mercy Main with that Brigitte, as well as the Transcendence comes in. Now, hold on, there's the stun there. Kilua stun out of his Death Blossom there. And now the Graviton Surge comes in, gets 2 people in. That's going to be the 2 tanks. Craniac uses that Coalescence. And pretty much now it's FTA with a man advantage. McCrunk D-Max go on with that Dragon Strike. but Predator coming in, basically helping out the entire team. 95%. The only one left that has a chance on this point right now is the Hanzo from McCrunk. Oh, he gets there just in time to force it overtime. Who else is going to get there, though? Sound barrier comes down. Nobody else is going to get there in time. And that is it. Nobody gets to the point in time. And Voltage is moving on to the semifinals. A full hold, 100-0 for Voltage. That's what they needed to win this game. Play of the game goes to McCrunk for this Junkrat, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, this is a triple kill with the Riptire here. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the triple kill here with the Riptire, and indeed it is. What a great placement by him before he goes down. But again, nonetheless, a great game. You can see these two teams matched up very well against each other. It comes down to the final point. And again, Voltage showing their stuff on a control point map. And this is why they have won the series. Wins Ilios 2-1, then gives up 2 games to From the Ashes in Watchpoint Gibraltar 3-2 and Eichenwald 2-1. Comes back on Hanamura 2-0, and finally wins Lijiang Tower to win the series 3-2. And moves on again to the semifinals here in the NAPC Division B. Let's bring our producer / analyst back on over here, as we brought him in after game number 1 because we saw From the Ashes win that first point and put Voltage in pretty much a hole. And how did Voltage get out of the hole?
Voltage, they answered back pretty well, especially with that McCree. I'm pretty sure they were running the McCree against the Pharah, if I'm not mistaken, and that just helped them come back against From the Ashes and win the entire game just from that. The McCree from, I believe, McCrunk, or not McCrunk, it was someone on Voltage. It was absolutely insane, and it was almost carry tier with how well he was able to both keep the Pharah out of the fight and keep her pressured, and also get kills, even apart from just pressuring the Pharah, just getting value out of that McCree, especially since they were running dive. It was absolutely astonishing to watch.
And great and astonishing to watch on both sides. I mean, From the Ashes had their opportunities, but just could not take over the third point. And Voltage finally showing their stuff in the final game there, because they had a 199 flip, which too close to call back on. I believe it was back on the Guardians. Now the night market, they full held 100-0. So now Voltage moves on to the semifinals, plays against Citizens, and I know you've seen Citizens play before. You produced some game. I know you produced 1 or 2 games with Citizens before, and you've seen this team of Citizens, and now you've seen Voltage play before. How does Citizens win? How does that game stack up between each other, between Voltage and Citizens?
I feel like against Voltage, you want to have a good Pharah player. Really try to pressure their Widowmaker, or at the very least, try to pressure whatever they're playing on their DPS. Pressure that DPS player so they aren't able to get as much value as they were in this situation in this series. I don't know. Because I've seen Citizens play. I don't remember exactly what they play or how they play, but I know them personally because I chat with them and whatever, but I feel like Citizens can really win this against Voltage. They just have to be able to try to get that DPS and oppress him to the point where he cannot do anything.
All right, so our next game here on the NAPC Division B is, of course, going to be, like we said, Voltage, your number 4 seed, taking on the number 1 team here in Division B. That is Team Citizens. So that is going to be an exciting game, and we hope you all join us there for the semifinals between Voltage and Citizens. And I'm taking a look at the bracket as well. You're taking a look at Superior versus Defiance in the other semifinals for Division B. So again, another good matchup there. And we hope that you all join us here in all of our future games, including this Division B playoffs, which is sure to be a fun and very exciting one. If this game was any foreshadowing for the future. But we thank you guys for watching this presentation of the Overtime Champions community here on Twitch. From the Ashes and Voltage went at it in a very exciting series, but Voltage is the one to charge forward on Ilios, Hanamura, and Lijiang Tower. They win the series 3-2, and they play Citizens next in the semifinals. We'll see you all later. For our producer here, Maui, as well as our referee at Miyoko, we thank you guys for watching again. We'll see you guys in the future. Take care.